you doing?
They love you, Richie, and we love you. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I mean, it is great fun. And there's a man with a camera, not just our studio cameras. He's up there. He's got his happy snap up there. We've got signs from Bon Jovi.
Yeah, look.
Richie.
Oh, look. When I was younger.
They love you, Richie.
It was pre-Heather. Pre-Heather. Yes.
Heather Locklear, your wife.
Yes.
How is she?
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, we have a new baby daughter, and things are going really well.
Oh, gorgeous.
Yes,
oh, yeah. There we have a photograph.
There you go.
Just marvelous.
Ah, that looks...
Now, how old's your baby daughter?
8 months.
8 months old.
8 months, yeah.
Wow. Gee, you know, a lot of people say rock and roll isn't a very conducive lifestyle to families and babies and wives and all that sort of stuff. How do you cope?
I think that, you know, I'm a family-oriented person, and I always wanted to have a family. I always wanted to have a really good relationship. I just never really found anybody until I met Heather. So then I think what has to happen is you just have to, you know, balance it. After you start to... You prioritize, I think, you know, it's basically, you have to carve out time for the relationship and make that I think it's the most important thing in your life, yeah.
But when you're touring, and with this album, which is your second solo album, when you're touring, how hard is it to maintain, because Heather's not with you, how hard is it to maintain that relationship?
You know, I'm a man of my own destiny at this point. I think I'm self-employed, so I just really tour for about 2.5 weeks, and I go home for 2.5 weeks, and then I go back for 2.5 weeks. I'll be going to Europe in July and South America in August, and then back in the States in September, and then back to Europe in October. So that's it. You know, I try to, like, 2.5 weeks home, 2.5 weeks out.
Do you talk a lot on the phone?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
How many calls a day?
2, 3.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Yeah, I miss the baby, you know, jeez. I miss the baby, I miss my wife.
So what's the latest on the baby? Is at 8 months, what's the latest thing Heather had to impart?
Dada. Dada.
So that's really good,
That's really good. That's, you know, then that's it. Your heart just goes... I become total jello.
That's wonderful.
It's great.
It's nice to know that relationships can survive with that sort of dedication you're talking about.
I mean, that's what you have to do. I think that it's important. I mean, you know, especially because we're both working, you know. I mean, it's very, very important.
Well, talking about working, love the album, love that song.
Thank you.
As everyone would be familiar, you're a guitarist, part of one of the world's most successful rock bands. You have co-written over 60 top 40 hits.
Probably more in the 40 range, I think.
Oh, don't be modest.
That's pretty good, though.
It's pretty darn good. So with all that as part of Bon Jovi, and it's very much a collaborative effort, all of a sudden you've got your second solo album. How much added pressure is it for Richie Sambora to be out there singing lead, playing, and co-writing? You know,
I just really enjoy it. I'm very, very passionate about singing. I don't really get a chance to do it in the band thing because John's the lead singer in the band. So I always felt that I've always had another career that was just kind of like waiting in the wings. And this record just came out so good. You know, you make a record and you're not really sure exactly how it's going to come out. And then when it comes out so well, and I had such great help on this record, a great legendary producer, Mr. Don Was, and some wonderful, wonderful musicians. And it just came out so good that it felt like it was the beginning of Richie Sambora being the singer and the frontman. So I'm very comfortable with it, actually.
Well, with your band, the touring band around the world, they've got some serious credentials.
Yeah.
Can you give us a rundown, the people you're working with, who they have worked with and supported in the past?
Well, let's see, on the record, of course, when Don Was, who's produced the last 3 Rolling Stones albums, and Bob Dylan, and Elton John, and Bonnie Raitt, and Willie Nelson, Merle Haggard. Billy Preston plays some keys on the record. A great songwriter, a guy who co-wrote all the songs with me, Mr. Richie Sambora. Steven Tyler from Aerosmith played harp on a couple songs. Just an endless array of people. With me playing today is Kazem Sultan from Utopia and Joya Bruno from Exposé. So, I mean, I like playing with other musicians. I think it's really great. It's so much fun for me to work with other people because it keeps the musical lines of communication open.
And also, you've worked with people who've worked with Cher, Foreigner, Meat Loaf, Joan Jett, Bryan Adams. I mean, that's an extraordinary
Let the party begin.
Well, apart from all that wonderful musical talent, which is pretty cool, do you have a competition who's got the most outrageous rock and roll story?
Not really, but this is a family show, so let's not get into it. But we, you know, put it this way. When we were young, a long time, not too long ago, but we lived it to the fullest, you know. I mean, it was a different time period, you know.
Well, what's the craziest thing? I mean, we don't want to be too shocked, but I mean the craziest thing you've heard
you know, I mean, it's just use your imagination. I think that's the best I could do. I mean, it's just whatever you think we did, multiply by 10, add 1 million, and that's what we did. We had a great time. It was awesome.
Oh, what a life, folks, huh? Somebody's living it excitingly. Now, a song Made in America, which is very autobiographical. It's about you growing up in New Jersey, since most of us haven't been to New Jersey. How tough was life growing up for you then?
It wasn't really tough. You know, I took a sentimental, like a sonic snapshot. That particular song was like a sonic snapshot of the way I grew up in America. But I think that people everywhere are gonna experience the same things that we did, and I try to do something to let people into my life a little bit to actually, you know, let them know Richie Sambora a little bit further, because I think music is a very conversational thing, and if I'm going to talk to somebody, they should know who they're talking to. So it's the first song on the record, and it kind of lets people into my life a little bit, and I think that you know, once. I want them to get to know who they're talking to, who they're having a conversation with, because music really does that, I think.
All the members of Bon Jovi are from New Jersey, along with Bruce Springsteen, Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
What is it about New Jersey?
I don't know. It's quite a melting pot for entertainment. I think it maybe has to do with the proximity so close to New York City, being such a mecca, and there's so many, you know, great. When I was coming up in the music business, there's so many great proving grounds and clubs and places to play, and actually, you know, and I think that that's a whole magnet for the whole industry. You know?
I also understand you were in a band with Frank Stallone, who was Sylvester Stallone's brother.
Many moons ago, yes.
Yeah, I mean, when Sly Stallone was starting all that, his enormous success with the first Rocky ones, did you guys get to hang out a lot?
Actually, he came to a rehearsal, yes. Sly came to a rehearsal and sang Born to be Wild once, I think.
Sly Stallone?
Yeah, it was fun. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. I was actually in a movie, too, with Frank, and Staying Alive. I made my first cameo in a movie. I guess I was about 19 at that point in time. I was down on my luck and I needed some money, so Sly put me in his movie. It was pretty cool.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So he's a nice guy, but how does he sing Born to be Wild, though?
Just like he talks.
Now, another song on the album, which you wrote, and I got to tell you, this is every girl's dream. You wrote a song for your wife, Heather, and it's just so beautiful. How did she react when you first played it for her?
All that really matters is a song about that I co-wrote with Richie Sambora about really finding a foundation in your life and knowing what you can't live without, really, you know, and. It was, you know, I looked at my wife one day and it seemed to be that. And then now with my kid, it's even further. It's actually, the song has gotten deeper. I think anybody that has found that in their life, or it could be, you know, for a long time it was just my guitar that really mattered to me before I met my wife. So.
Did she cry when she first heard it?
No, she didn't. She just, I think but she enjoyed it though.
Is it tough trying to get two careers on a path? Of course, do you have Melrose parties like everybody else? I mean, come on, everybody has Melrose parties.
No, but we do watch it together.
Yeah?
We do watch it together. I mean, you know, my wife works so hard that I think she has to also watch the show to see what's really going on with the other characters in the show, so she keeps up on it. So every week we watch it together with them.
Because
Plus, if I didn't, you know, she'd tan my hide, you know, it's crazy.
So you got to give her critique and tell her how she's going.
Absolutely.
Just like every good relationship.
Yeah, and she does the same for me, so it's like the same thing. I always bounce those stuff off her, yeah.
Do you find people, because she's played, you know, a vixen in Melrose especially, do you find people blur the lines between what is real life and what is character on TV show?
I think, yeah, everybody expects my wife to be a bitch, I think, you know, but she's not at all, you know. I mean, the character that she plays on TV, it's pretty harsh. You know what I mean? Glad she's not like that in real life, put it that way.
So, you know, they're poles apart.
Poles apart, yeah.
Well, how could she? She's married to a gorgeous man, don't you agree? Such a nice, down-to-earth character.
Thank you so much.
So you're touring the world. It is hard work, but you've got a lot ahead of you. What do you think you'd like to do next?
You know, continue making more records, go into more production. I have produced some of the records. I co-produced my last album, and I also co-produced the last Bon Jovi records, and bringing new artists into the world, you know, and you know, maybe having more children and being a good dad and good husband, and just continuing the songwriting. And
How many more kids would you like?
As many as my wife wants. I really enjoy it, so I mean, it's something I've always wanted to do.
Isn't that gorgeous?
And I like to practice, too.
Well, you've got a whole bunch of fans here. We've got a whole sign that says Richie over here.
Thank you.
We've got all your photographs, the whole lot. And I want to thank you for being so kind and so generous, singing so beautifully for us. The album is called Undiscovered Souls, Undiscovered Soul. It is out in the record store, and you're a real delight to have with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please thank Richie Sambora.